Just a couple thoughts on fixing salmon souffle before I actually get started. I'm going to add this to the actual video that I created beforehand. This is a can of salmon broken up. There's nothing else in here right now. If you're cooking for just one or two people and a souffle fix is enough for 3 to 4 and you don't want to waste that much, once you've broken it all up and it's already pre-cooked, you can eat this raw. This is good just as it is. Take that amount, cut it in half, take the other half and put it in a little container in the fridge. And then the next time you want a quick meal, you can take a cup of the rice-a-roni chicken and flavored rice. It's rice and vermicelli. This is a large king-size box, but the small one is a full cup of it. You could use just half a cup of that and fix that in a skillet, brown it. Well, first boil it like it says on the box, about a cup of water. Then once the water has mostly cooked off, put that into a skillet to kind of brown it a little bit. Toss in a little bit of this salmon, and you have a nice salmon and rice dish. Or you could take half of that salmon and put it in a salad. So there's different things you can do with canned salmon that's already cooked. You don't have to throw it away. If you're in a really small household, you don't have to feel like, oh, well, I fixed this souffle and it's going to get thrown away because I don't like it left over once it's been cooked. So that's one thing. A couple other things. The actual size of the container that I fix it in for, again, for 3 to 4 people, I have the standard 8-inch square single cake pan. I have a 7-inch square Corningware pan. So either of those works, and I'll show you the end result after I get done with that. But just let you know, there's different things you can do. If you've got a family of, say, 4 to 5, maybe 6 people, you can take this same can of salmon and add in, instead of having 3 eggs, add 4. And then add in about another 1/3 of a cup of milk. Add in a little bit more of the crushed cracker crumbs. And you're expanding the meal with the same can of salmon. So there's different things you can do to stretch your food budget dollar to make sure that it covers your family, whatever size it is, with no waste. And that's what I wanted to make sure you were aware of. Okay, I'm going to fix salmon souffle tonight. Salmon is already pre-cooked. The labeling has been done wrong on these for months now. So they've got it kind of weird-ass way of doing it. Sorry about that. But you have to open it from this end, and it doesn't matter. The salmon is already pre-cooked. You could eat it straight out of the can. Sometimes I do that on crackers if I just want something light and soft. I also do a little bit of trimming. You don't have to do that, but it's the way I was taught, so that's the way I do it. There is a little bit of bone here. Again, if you cook it with that in there, it's going to be just crunchy. It won't be a bad thing, so if you miss that, that's all right. It's just the way they can it. This can costs a little over $3, and to feed 3, maybe 4 people if you're having side dishes as well, that's a pretty reasonable price. And this is a recipe that's been handed down from my grandmother back during the Great Depression. That's over 100 years ago now, so she's been cooking with that for a long time. And it's been carried on because our family really likes salmon souffle. So I've got the salmon all broke up. I add 3 eggs. I'm going to beat those. If you happen to drop a little bit of an egg shell into the egg, you can use the whole side of an eggshell to pull it out, or use a fork to pull out the shell. You don't have to worry about that. So just put 3 eggs in there. And it calls for 1 1/4 cups of milk. And that's flexible. If you don't have 1 1/4 cups, maybe you're low on milk, 1 cup is enough. And that's what I'm going to use tonight, is just 1 cup. And then you just stir that up. And it's all very soupy at this point. There's also a little bit of skin there. crush up some cracker crumbs. I have a little mat underneath this. You can buy it by the roll like this. This roll is probably 10-15 years old. It will last forever, and it costs about $2 or $3. You can get it at any big box store or some grocery stores. And like I said, I use that for a lot of different things, but it keeps the paper towel from sliding all over the place. Just crushing up a little bit of cracker crumbs. If you don't have a rolling pin like this, this is separate. The roller is separate from the handles, which is convenient. If you don't have that, you could use a paper or a plastic bag, and then just have somebody pound on that. All right, I'm going to take a cup, and it's going to take a little more than that. I'm going to say a cup and a half for right now. We'll see how much more I need. Usually I just dump it in there, but I'm going to measure so that people that don't like just dumping stuff in will have some sort of measurement to go by. And this is still way too soupy, so you need to go a little bit more. I'll go another half cup. And if it's a cold day outside or heading into cold weather season, this is kind of a nice meal to have. You can fix biscuits to go with it, a side dish of corn or some sort of vegetable that your family likes. I'm going to go with just a little bit more. And I have more cracker crumbs for another dish that I'm doing tonight, but I'll film that separately. We do scalloped potatoes a lot, cheesy scalloped potatoes. And that's about the way you want it. You want it to be able to hold up. I'm going to pour that into a bowl that I've already set up with foil. And I'm just going to kind of leave the top kind of rough because I want it to brown, like in different stages, so that it makes it kind of crunchy. And into the oven it goes. That's about 5 minutes. Takes about an hour to bake. And that is salmon soufflé, a recipe that has been in my family for over 100 years.